Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 191st installment of what I like to call What I Eat Wednesdays, where we take a look at some of the most interesting What I Eat in a Day videos on TikTok. In today's episode, we're going to be covering someone that we've covered before in the past. Her videos are often labeled making a meal for my hard-working blue-collar husband after a 14 or 12-hour shift. And then it's just the most egregious food that you can imagine. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache. Making my blue-collar husband homemade sausage and mash after his 14-hour shift. Mash, of course, being potato chips mixed with milk. What was that, some oil? Obviously, we need to put a pound of salt on that. The chips didn't come with, like, an egregious amount of salt on them already. Okay, so we boil some potato chips in milk to make mash. I'm really curious to see if this actually works. Are those going to reduce down to a mashed potato type consistency? By the way, you're scraping the hell out of the bottom of that Teflon pan with a lot of metal utensils. Is that what these black flakes are right here? Right there, there. Little bits of Teflon in the food, little extra seasoning. Okay, so interestingly enough, it looks like the potato chips are not becoming mashed. And they seem to be taking on the color of the pan. Oh my god. Those did not become mash. They became soggy potato chips soaked in milk. Alright, some good old sausage and mash. Okay, so that was horrifying. I'm not going to be writing any of these down, but I will be scoring them. I'm going to give that one a 1 out of 10. Next. Making a classic British dinner for my blue-collar husband. Okay, and it looks like we're using frozen beer-battered cod fillets for our classic British dinner. Okay? There we go, pouring cold oil on top of something, so it can really soak in. Alright, what are those? Are those like some kind of triangular tater tots? SpaghettiOs? What? What the heck? Now we're deep frying SpaghettiOs. When she started making this, there was already stuff left over in the pan from the past 100 meals. I love how we never clean that. You're going to want to leave that in there. Get the essence of all of those previous meals into your current meal. Okay, that's horrifying. Also, look at that pan. Okay, so apparently that was a classic British dinner. I'm gonna give that one a 4 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding. 1 out of 10. Next, making my blue-collar husband homemade pizza after his 14-hour shift. Tell me we are not going to attempt to fry this pizza in a pan. There's oil. Okay, yeah, we are. We put the oil on top. It's not even hot. It's just literally soaking in. I've talked about before how when you fry something, the oil needs to be hot before you put whatever it is in there, and then the hot oil creates like a steam layer around the food, and it never gets completely soaked in oil because of this steam layer. Putting cold oil on food, or putting food into cold oil, allows the oil to soak into the food quite a bit. Now we're adding extra seasonings to the pizza. What are we putting? Some fennel on there? Red pepper flakes. Oh my goodness, more cold oil. You're gonna want to smear that oil around a little bit for some reason. You see how big that salt container is? And like I said, it looks like the container that shock comes in, like for your pool. Why are we pouring the oil on the top now? Okay, you ever seen somebody fry pizza? I have not. I wouldn't say deep fry. This is a pan fry. Hold on, what's that on the top? Did we put little dollops of butter on top? Oh no, those must be cheese or something. Is this one of those annoying pizzas that doesn't have cheese all over the whole top? It just has a few cubes here and there, or chunks, and some stewed tomatoes on top of a piece of bread? Okay, I bet you didn't know that it was even possible to pan fry a pizza. The more you know. Every single one of these is some sort of frozen food put into a Teflon pan that's been beaten to hell and is filthy, and fried in oil. It's completely insane to try to fry a frozen pizza. What? And all of these meals are going to her blue-collar husband after a 14-hour shift. I don't know if he's going to be able to go back to work tomorrow after these meals. Next. Making steak and chips with a olive oil sauce for my blue-collar husband after his 14-hour shift. A olive oil sauce. Alright, so is that ribeye steak also something that came frozen? I'm not sure, but putting it into that pan is already a waste. The cold pan. Why don't we preheat the oil? Or the pan at all ever? Have you guys ever heard of putting food into a pan and then turning it on? Unless you're like boiling something, you know? More of those tater tot type things. Those must be what we're calling the chips, mate. That's a ridiculous amount of salt and pepper. What a waste of a ribeye. If this is rage bait content, you're actually wasting ribeyes. Typically, they're frying frozen food and other cheaper stuff like that. But now we're wasting ribeyes just to make rage bait content? I hope not. Yeah, you're gonna want to pour that Teflon and oil right over the top of that steak. Teflon, just like a mama used to make. The Teflon really gives it that je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna want to slap that ribeye. Why did we hit it? Hold on, let's get a replay on that. For some reason. Oh, what the heck? And then we're pouring the nasty pan oil over the top of it? Okay, at least you didn't overcook the heck out of it. It looks like a pretty decent rare. Okay, so we're just completely wasting ribeyes now. Alright, okay, fine. I'm very offended by that. Very. I love at the end how after she plated the steak, she took a little bit of the extra oil and whatever the hell else is in that pan and drizzled it over the top. Just like a mama used to make. That's why we kicked her out. Next, making a traditional English fry-up for my blue-collar husband before his 14-hour shift. All right, let's see how traditional this is. Something seems to be a little off about this, even more than the other videos. I can't quite place my finger on it. Oh, I see now. You didn't crack the egg. You put a whole egg in the shell in the pan. All right, this is most definitely rage bait. What would happen? I'm guessing if you left that egg in there, cooking in that oil, it would basically just hard boil. I'm guessing. What? And then we karate chop the eggshell with the spoon until it breaks. And then we extract the eggshell. Okay, that's a very interesting way of cracking an egg. You're gonna want to put a pound of salt on that, of course. SpaghettiOs again. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that it is possible to deep fry SpaghettiOs. Finally, my questions have been answered. Oh wait, no, I never wondered about that. More salt, okay. All right, so this looks really appetizing. I can't wait to dig into all of this. Okay, that bacon didn't even get crispy. That's what I'm pointing out. You're like, that's all you see wrong with this? Yeah, man. Everything else seems fine, but that bacon looks a little less than crispy. That's the problem with this dish. The only problem. Yeah, scrape that Teflon right up into that egg. Along with the funk from the past 100 meals. Okay, so that was also truly horrifying. I don't think I need to score these. They're all going to be a 1 out of 10, obviously. Next. Making my blue-collar husband a sausage, SOSIG, and bacon sandwich after his 14-hour shift. Cold oil on the top of bread. That's good. That will literally just soak in like a sponge. A pack of bacon, not separated, of course. Yeah, you're probably going to want to put those sausages in the oil instead of having them just sit atop the bread. Oh my god. I'm not sure why we put the bread in the pan at all. Why didn't we just use regular bread that was not fried, if you even want to call this that? Yup, that's ready to eat and should be consumed by a human. Ketchup on the bread? What the heck? Oh, it's in the shape of a heart. Thanks, honey. I knew you cared. This level of care put into my food is what keeps me coming home happy every single day from my 14-hour shift in the coal mine. You know, I got black lung today. That's what they told me down at the coal mine. Luckily, I came home to a sausage and bacon sandwich after my 14-hour shift, and it made it all worth it. Black lung be damned. Look at that pan. Can we please dispose of this pan in the bin, mate? Slam that down nice and hard. Okay, so that was good. They poured cold oil over the top of the bread, which is real nice. It soaks in there very wonderfully, and then when you take a bite into the sandwich, oil just starts pouring down your chin and neck. Mwah. There's nothing like cold oil with my bread. Next, shopping haul for my blue-collar husband.
Hello everyone, Auntie Jackie here. I'm just showing you some things that I got from the shop.
Okay, so this is rage bait. Absolutely confirmed. This is somebody doing some sort of British accent poorly.
My husband wants to have some steak this week, so I picked him up a steak from Asda, but then I forgot the prawns because he wants to have surf and turf, you see.
Okay, so is this just some kid doing a British accent? And pretending to be Auntie Jackie or Auntie Jackie, whatever the heck.
So I had to stop at Morrison's and pick up some prawns, and he wants a homemade chili con carne, so I picked that up as well. Look, lovely chili con carne. It's not too bad that. And then I picked up some gravy because we're gonna have
gravy granules. Is that solid gravy that's been dehydrated and come in granule form, and you just add water to it or something? What?
A roast dinner on Sunday, so that'll be lovely. You wanna keep an eye out for that one. My husband loves my roast dinners.
Oh my goodness.
And then we also picked up some breaded chicken nuggets, because I've seen all over the TikTok account about everyone wanting that Wingstop, so that's what he wants to have, so I'm gonna make him a homemade Wingstop out of that, are you?
Okay. I don't know if eating frozen chicken nuggets is the same as going to Wingstop. That's not even wings. Those are nuggets, so,
I hope he's gonna love it.
I hope he's gonna love it too.
But remember, guys, to always be kind. And thank you so much for the support that I've had. I can't believe it. But just keep following, guys, and I will post these videos of these meals coming this week. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.
Okay, that makes me think that the Auntie Jackie page really is satire. That seems like a kid or something doing a British accent. Now we're going to be taking a look at one final clip. Making traditional Italian carbonara for my blue-collar husband after his 14-hour shift. We're really using the word traditional very loosely. We've claimed that a lot of the dishes we just made were traditional. Whose tradition? I don't know. Who adds oil to bacon? It's got plenty of fat. Okay, we start off with a cold pan once again. If this is rage bait, it's wild that we're just wasting all of this food, you know? Every day we make an entire meal's worth of food and just throw it away because this is rage bait? I hope it's not rage bait. I want this to be real. I'm a very sick individual. I want somebody to be out there living like this for some reason. I don't know why. I'm very sick. Pepper, pepper, pepper. Oh, we're adding some milk, of course, to our bacon. You're going to want to boil that bacon in oil and milk mixed together. And then throw noodles in. Oil and milk together at last. And water. Okay, we're putting all types of liquids in this. Every time I hear that pan scrape, dude, it's making me cringe. Teflon in your noodles today now, yeah, 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 yeah. Goodness gracious. I don't think those noodles are even cooked. They're still all stiff. Man, those noodles are still raw. They're all perfectly straight still like that. They're not like bent or anything at all. Those are not the slightest bit cooked. Alright, and in that final clip we saw them make traditional spaghetti carbonara. Whose tradition? I don't know, but I don't want to go to their house. I'm pretty sure this entire page is rage bait. That shopping video pretty much solidified it for me. I'm not sure why we continue to feed our husband Teflon after a 14-hour shift at the coal mines, or whatever. The added context of somebody eating this food after working really hard at a blue-collar job for 14 hours makes it even funnier to me. Like, you've been working your butt off all day, honey. Here. Have this. Jeez. Thanks, honey. Teflon in it again. So what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Leave a comment below. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.